So welcome and thank you very much for being here. We often begin these things in a routine way by saying we're very honored to be in conversation with a particular person. And it sometimes is something that people trot out, but it is a great honor to be in the presence of someone with this degree of experience and wisdom, and it's an extraordinary thing for all of us here, and I'm particularly excited to be in the presence of Lama Khyimsar. Thank you very much for being here. Maybe let's start in the obvious place. When most people, and I'm sure most of you here, think of Buddhism, most people do think of a tradition that goes back to the Buddha Shakyamuni, who lived, 2,500 years ago. But your tradition goes back 18,000 years.
It's a bit overwhelming, huh?
Yeah, it's a huge different thing. Can you begin by just giving us an idea of this tradition, where it comes from, what are its practices and principles and so on, and then we'll develop it from there. But just run with that for a little while, because I think a lot of people would gain an enormous amount from hearing about this tradition of Buddhism,
yes,
which is in some ways very similar to, but in some ways very different to the what we take to be Buddhism.
Yes, thank you. I don't have anything special or to share with you. When it comes to the wisdom, I think you all know, you all have degrees, experiences, so many things. However, later on when I speak, I came with a screwdriver to tighten some of your understandings. The loose screwdriver, loose nuts. I came with a screwdriver. Let's think that way. Apart from that, yes, so I will be answering Shomit's question. That's historical matter, historical. Are you understanding my English? Yes. But I should be all right, because many people say your English is Indian English. I lived in India, educated, whatever. So it's important that you understand my accent, English. You understand? Yes. Yeah. So I came with a screwdriver. Screwdriver? It's an analogy to tighten, because everybody is someone. Everybody will say, I'm a professional, I'm a teacher, I'm a master, I do this, I do that, including meditation. Today, everybody says meditation, meditation, meditation. So I thought, I have nothing new to teach, but I have a screwdriver. As a Lama, screwdriver, are you understanding this analogy? Because when the screws are loose, we come with a screwdriver, tighten it. Are you understanding this? Okay, go back to the Shomit's question. Yungdrung Bön, you must have read, it's very important. When I was contacted, I requested the organization, including himself and others, to correct the name from Bön into Yungdrung Bön. B-O and Bön is one thing. It means totally different meaning. Yungdrung Bön is the one which I am going to talk. Yungdrung Bön meaning enlightened teaching. Yungdrung Bön meaning eternal light. And its history goes back to over 18,000 years old. Rationally speaking, scholars, academicians don't agree with that, as everything has to be rationalized. Doesn't matter, that's not a big deal. Huh? Some PhD holders don't really agree with that, but that's something. But that's a history. Over 18,000 years, it's not somebody made up something. Over 18,000 years, meaning the tradition of Yungdrung Bön can trace back to over 18,000 years. Over, I'm using this again and again. It's not only over, it's not only 18,000, over 18,000. My website was written some years ago, so it's not updated yet. I see, you see. So similarly, when you said Lama Khyimsar Rinpoche has been living and teaching in the West, including UK, for 30 years. So I thought, oh, I should update. I have been teaching in the West for 37 years. So we need to update.
Yes.
In the West, I said, I used to travel a lot. Sometimes people used to call me Jet Set Lama. USA, Europe, different countries. Now I'm getting old. So slowing down, and I used to give a lot of similar conferences, including in central London, St. James.
Yes.
St. James is very popular. I always invited there as well, and then California, so on and so forth, Miami. But I slowed it down. Not because of age, this is just, because when you go and speak to the audience, people are excited. But nobody's putting things into action. Even after tightening the screw, you see, they just go their own way, anyway. So Yungdrung Bön, historically, 18,000 years. Geographically, it's different from Buddhism. Buddhism, as you all know, originated from India geographically. History-wise, over 2,500 years, Buddha Shakyamuni, if we talk about. Whereas Yungdrung Bön originated from a place called Shangshung Shambhala. Those who are making note, you can write that. That's important. Shangshung. Z-H-A-N-G. Shang dash Z-H-U-N-G. Shangshung Shambhala. Which includes present physical mountain, Mount Kailash. Are you understanding? Mount Kailash, which includes Western Tibet, Mount Kailash. Shangshung Shambhala is the source from where Yungdrung Bön originated, which means the Buddha Trungpa Shenrab, teacher Trungpa Shenrab, the founder Trungpa Shenrab taught Yungdrung Bön teaching in the land of Shangshung Shambhala. You never heard those things. You just hear Bön, and there's a misinterpretation. Today in our world, misinterpretation, misunderstanding. Bön, shamanism, animism, strike that out. It's wrong information. It could be 200, 300, 500 years ago used on purpose as a propaganda. So I'm here to correct that. That's my duty. I represent Yungdrung Bön worldwide. So far as I'm based in London, UK. We have a center in New Barnet. Everybody's welcome to come. There's some flyers if you wish to know. So, geographically, historically, you can see the difference. When it comes to the teaching itself, I would use the word identical, not similar. You understand grammatically, identical. The Yungdrung Bön teaching and Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching are identical. Is this making sense? Yeah. So some people don't pay attention because if it's a similar, then there's a connotation. Okay, it's a similar, but there's a but. No but, identical. Why? Because I can say that I've studied Buddhism under Buddhist masters during my school times, college times. It's amazing that Shomit comes from that part of the India, Darjeeling, where I studied. So I've studied under many Buddhist masters. So I know, that's why I'm saying identical. Because in Buddhism, if we summarize, the teachings are called Sutra, Tantra. True, Sutra, Tantra? That's in Sanskrit, in Tibetan, we say, Buddhist as well as Yungdrung Bön, we say Do and Ngak. Sutra Tantra is recently in 1960s, when Tibetans became refugees, then they started associating with professors, PhD holders, and they try to help with good intention. Okay, Sutra means Do means sutra, tantra means so and so forth. So when it comes to sutra, tantra, identical. Not because of the wordings, not because of the phrases, but because in Yungdrung Bön and Buddhist authenticity, authentic teaching, there is a thing called tawa, view, meditation, characteristics. If these things doesn't match, then I cannot say even similar. Tawa, Gompa, Chöpa. I'm sorry, we have very little time, but I must mention these. View, meditation, characteristics. Characteristics? They match. They are identical. When I studied, after studying Buddhism first, then I studied Yungdrung Bön tradition under Yungdrung Bön's prominent masters. When I say masters, if I may say, I should not say, I should be careful, because our conventional mind is very sensitive. Our conventional mind wants to hear what you want to hear. You don't want to hear what you don't want to hear. But I must say, master should be understood. When we're talking about Buddhism, Yungdrung Bön, and Hinduism, so on and so forth, you read my thing, I'm a non-sectarian. You know the meaning of non-sectarian? Yeah. So I acknowledge all the knowledge. However, you also read, I don't teach religion. These are question marks, huh? We don't have time today, but you should know why he don't teach religion. I teach rather spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge with my number of screwdrivers. Previously I said one screwdriver, master screwdriver, and now I have a number of screwdrivers, A, B, C, for sutra, for tantra. And then we have in Yungdrung Bön, we have another teaching. I don't want to mention the name because people get excited. And after getting excited, you just go on social media and sharing, and that's the biggest mistake. That's the biggest mistake. Instead of putting on the social media, instead of sharing here and there, you need to absorb it. So there is in Yungdrung Bön, apart from Buddhism, in Yungdrung Bön, we have not only sutra, not only tantra, but we have a teaching called, a supreme teaching called Dzogchen teaching. And I know many of you will say, oh yeah, I read. That's academic. Sutra, tantra, Dzogchen, whatever you do, or vipassana, or whatever you meditation, you need a human master. Please remember, that's me, my screwdriver now pointing towards you. You need a human living master. Preferably an authentic living human master. The authentic carries so much weight here. Authentic means not only somebody has studied philosophy aspect of this and that, sutra, tantra, or Hinduism or Judaism or Christianity. The person has gone through the necessary practical aspect of the teachings, practiced. In other words, meditated thoroughly under the guidance of an authentic master. So when we say master, in this context, must understand master means someone who has transformed his or her mind. Am I going too much? Yeah.
Can I just ask you a
Yes,
little question there?
Yes.
You said that these two traditions were identical. How does it come about that this is the case? Because they're separated by 15,000 years, 16,000 years. What is the... How is it? I mean, I've noticed when I was looking at your website, there are many words in common, never mind concepts, never mind principles. So where does that similarity come in these traditions that are separated by so many thousands of years?
Good. I know where you are driving me now. It's a very important question, a relevant question. But whatever I say here should not become a tool for speculation. Huh? Are you understanding, my dear ones? It is for food for thought. The question is important. When it is 2,500 years Buddha Shakyamuni and Buddhist tradition, when it is 18,000, over 18,000 tradition, still it is identical. How come? Is that your question, if I may say? Yes. So there is a sensitive thing. Will you be putting these things on your YouTube and all those things? You will be? I have to be careful. Yes. Nobody want to hear truth. Everybody want to hear just a sweet chocolate. Because the question is important. I cannot brush it away. Just because it's very sensitive. Not sensitive in our circle. It is sensitive in the world of religious, dogmatic aspect. Are you understanding? Sensitive. That's why I don't teach you religion. I rather teach spiritual knowledge. This you may not understand. You may understand from English-wise. You have to think why he's not teaching religion. This is me. And why he's teaching spiritual knowledge. Because the sensitive is a big obstacle. Sensitive, all these things. However, this question deserves an answer here, a simple answer. According to Yungdrung Bön sources, now let's put that way, sources. Yungdrung Bön sources. It is clearly mentioned, recorded, that Buddha Shakyamuni in his past life, past life, known as Hlai Phuto Karpo, Tibetan, in Tibetan word, Hlai Phuto Karpo, meaning a prince with a white crown. When Buddha Shakyamuni in his past life, attending his spiritual school, if you like, perhaps, most probably in Shambhala, Shangshung Shambhala, after completing, to cut the long story short, after completing his spiritual training, if you like, he kneeled down in front of the Buddha Tongpa, the founder of the Yungdrung Bön, and asked him, "My Lord, what is my task? Now that I have completed my studies under you in the name of Yungdrung Bön, the eternal light, what is my task? What is my future duty?" Buddha Tongpa advised, or commanded, soft, huh? "My dear Hlai Phuto Karpo, the prince with the white crown, your now task is take birth in that part of the world." That part of the world? So today, historically, we say, many people relate Buddha Shakyamuni was born in India. Many people say that. That part of the world, I'm saying, it was in Lumbini. Lumbini? India, Nepal border.
Nepal border.
It's again sensitive. Many people want to hear, born in India. Doesn't matter. So Buddha Shakyamuni took his birth there, and then he was asked specifically by Yungdrung Bön's founder, Buddha Tongpa, to teach my Yungdrung Bön in the name of Shuddha Dharma. Today, everybody says Dharma, Dharma, Dharma. It's really a little bit incomplete. So here's a screwdriver need to be tightened. In Tibetan, call it Thampe Chö. Shuddha Dharma in Hindi, in Indian, Shuddha. Shuddha Dharma, not Dharma. Dharma has a different connotation, like Bön has a different connotation. Yungdrung Bön is Shuddha Dharma. Shuddha Dharma is Yungdrung Bön. That is my answer. That's why these two teachings are merging together, like milk pouring in the water, water pouring in the milk.
That's fascinating. That is absolutely fascinating. Can I ask you a little bit about Shuddha Dharma? To
Shuddha
take
Dharma?
away suffering and the causes of suffering, how? In your tradition? I mean, I know it's a big, vast question, but what are the sort of principles, what are the practices that you teach and so on? And how does that guide us in a very troubled world, in a very difficult world? And
Exactly.
there's always a practical aspect to these things which is so important, the practice of it. Not just the theory, not just what we discuss in academic seminars, but how we actually live, how we conduct ourselves in the world.
That's the key thing. That's the key thing for all us. We don't need a religion. We don't have to change a religion. We must change our mind. But don't think that, oh, he wrote a change our mind. I understood. Now you must understand, what do you mean by mind? A mind? What mind? We must change our anger-related mind. We must change our jealousy-related mind, anger, jealousy. We must change our pride-related mind. Getting old is a big lesson. We must appreciate and make sure that we don't get distracted. So, the core teachings of Shuddha Dharma, Buddhism, Tampeche, and Yungdrung Bön is to bring transformation to our mind. Your mind, my mind, our mind. I'm using plural. You are saying our. I'm including myself here too. I don't want to be here, oh, I am a Lama Khyimsar Rinpoche, I am something else. I must also. Otherwise, I have no right to teach, preach, and live up to it, which I'm trying my best. This is important. So transforming our mind is all about everything. In our Yungdrung Bön teaching, as well as in Buddhism, our mind is like this palm. Can you see the palm? This analogy, simple analogy. One side of the palm consists of everlasting 5 wisdoms. Now don't ask me, people always say, what are the past wisdom? What's the point of writing that? Don't write it, do it. Okay? I'm planting some seeds here. And other side of the palm is full of anger, jealousy, pride, attachment, ignorance, collectively called in Tibetan Togna. In English we can say 5 poisons. 5 poisons. Everybody is enriched with 5 poisons, huh? That need to be transformed. Buddha's plural, Buddha Shakyamuni, Buddha Trungpa has given method and wisdom to bring transformation to our 5 poison enriched poisons. So whatever you do, whatever we do, we must look inside. We are very good in looking outside. If those who look outside all the time, then he or she is not a real practitioner. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Whatever you are doing, whatever you are doing, under the umbrella of meditation, sadhana, so on and so forth, contemplation, whatever you call it, these are the names. Looking inside is the ultimate meditation. Looking inside what? At one's own anger mind, jealousy, pride, attachment, ignorance. Knowing that behind these 5 poisons is the 5 wisdoms. Knowing that these 5 poisons are like clouds in the sky, and behind the cloud there is a clear sky, infinite clear sky, infinite clear sky. We all have it. From that point of view, Buddha Trungpa remarked that each and every human being is a Buddha in essence. I'm talking with the Buddha's potentials. Everybody is Buddha potential. regardless who you are, rich, poor, young, old, man, woman, whatever faith you have, everybody is a Buddha potential. So, I'm sitting with the Buddhas. How lucky, how honored. However, Buddhas have got distracted on the way. Instead of bringing this Buddhahood, Buddha potential into fruition, we got distracted. Distracted? You understood this word?
Yes.
Distraction is the obstacle. Whatever you are doing. Not only distraction outside, mostly distracted with our own mind. Distracted, distracted, distracted. Thus, tightening the anger, jealousy, pride, attachment, ignorance. When it is tightened so much, anger, jealousy, the person becomes devil rather than Buddha. Buddha is a Sanskrit word, you all know that, meaning the awakened one in English translate, the awakened one, Buddha. In Tibetan we call it Sanje. Sanje, everybody is a potential Sanje. There is no one who is not a potentially Sanje, but this potential Sanje has got distracted. Instead of driving straight, going in the villages, towns, bars, so on and so forth. Am I talking too long? Because time is the essence. So, transforming 5 poisons, transforming mind is the best way forward. That's all Buddhas and his followers have confirmed everywhere, transforming our mind. And to transform our mind, for example, those of you who are here, if you go out and start putting on the website or on social media and telling your friends, oh, we should transform our mind, that's the biggest mistake. You immediately want to become a little guru, little teacher. That is the biggest mistake because your pride is now. Are you understanding? It is you who should do it. Go in a corner. Go in a corner, meditation room, shrine room, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Even in your toilet. In our conceptual mind, we think toilet, oh no, toilet. Before the toilet was originated there was an empty space. Yeah? So it's time for us to think, to check. If you seriously want to bring transformation, we need to check how much anger you have. Anger, jealousy, pride, attachment. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But it is not impossible either.
Can I push you a little bit by asking the question, how? Now, in the Buddha Shakyamuni tradition, the answer to these obscurations, these afflictions, is the wisdom of emptiness. What is the equivalent, or is that again something here? Because when you have the wisdom of emptiness, that is the antidote to the anger and the attachment.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Just unpick that a little bit?
Yes. I think I go back. The number one, first step is to bring transformation by looking inside. The word emptiness is loosely used since 1960s. The term is Tongbai Ni. Tongbai Ni. Tongbai Ni is the antidote, but until you know, you can't say, I want to build a 3-story building when you can't even get a mortgage, when you don't have a down payment ready. So whilst renting, you can save money. Emptiness is just a word translated in 1960s, 70s. The right term is Tongbai Ni. It's called Tongyi Tope Sherab. The wisdom of the understanding of the Tongbai Ni. It's a huge, yes, Tongbai Ni is the antidote, but it's a long way to go. For that we need authentic meditation, not just closing meditation. closing, sitting there with some incense and music. That's not meditation. Are you understanding? Again, transforming the mind comes back. This comes back, sutra or tantra or comes back. At some point, when you have not succeeded, but started the process of transforming your mind, the cloud started dispersing. Like cloud disperse in the sky. Are you understanding my analogy? Our anger cloud, jealousy cloud, 5 clouds started becoming weakening. The purpose of meditation is to weaken our 5 poisons, nothing else, nothing more. Wherever you say it, it's not about Yungdrung Bön, it's not about Buddhism, it's about in Bhagavad Gita also, you understand? Everywhere. Mahabharata also, Ramayana also, Christianity, Judaism, you understand? Weakening our 5 poisons is the way forward. For that, you have to be humble. We have to be humble. We have to be humble. We, not you. We have to be humble. And from there, the ultimate aim and object is to experience Tongpa Nyi. I want you to say Tongpa Nyi rather than emptiness. You understanding? It's a helpful word. It's very helpful, convenient. My students are never allowed to say emptiness. It's just quite new. For me, I call it sometimes genetically modified. GMO, Yungdrung Bön, GMO, Buddhism, emptiness. Tongpa Nyi. We had the right postcode, so we arrived here. If we have the wrong postcode, we might end up in somewhere else in London. So right code is Tongpa Nyi, not emptiness. I know all the masters use it. It's convenient, but we cannot waste our precious time by doing convenient, like you were mentioning bodhicitta. It's quite convenient terminology. In Tibetan Buddhism, Yungdrung Bön, the term is semje, generation of enlightened mind. That brings me to applying the whole process, Sutra, Tantra, is to reach to Tongpa Nyi. But that's not enough. Tongpa Nyi is Sutra's level of Tongpa Nyi, realizing, experiencing. And then there is a Tantra's level of Tongpa Nyi, meaning emptiness. I don't want to mention that. Not because anything. I think with due respect, everybody, I'm fortunate. I had a opportunity to go to modern school in India, Darjeeling, modern school, where the medium was English. So my English is not that bad. I understand, not that bad. Still saying it's bad. Yeah. It really helped me too, because I'm qualified in Buddhism, Yungdrung Bön. So when we say Tongpa Nyi and when we translate into emptiness, it really contradicts. Because the meaning of Tongpa Nyi in Yungdrung Bön Buddhism, Buddhas have taught 84,000 teachings. The essence of 84,000 teachings is to experience Tongpa Nyi. And furthermore, let's not talk about Dzogchen's Tongpa Nyi. Let's not talk about that. But I'm just indicating. Not tempting, but indicating.
Can I just throw this up?
Emptiness has very limited word in English dictionary, Oxford dictionary, Collins, or elsewhere, even in Shakespeare's. Emptiness. Because in Yungdrung Bön Buddhism, studying is not enough. You make sure that you don't fall in the wrong views. We call it takta and cheta. Again, this is translated takta, cheta as nihilistic and eternal, whatever. Takta, cheta. So, if we say emptiness, temporarily it serves the purpose. But in the long run, we might end up somewhere else. So from the word goes, our postcode has to be right, address has to be right. Tongpa Nyi. What is Tongpa Nyi? From Sutra point of view, Tantra, but this is a vast